Good afternoon. Today we are going to be reading Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. This book is, the author book is Judith Weissert, and his illustrator was Ray Cruz. I'm sorry. This is a book. What do you think that this book is going to talk about? Yes, we'll be talking about a boy. This is a boy there. What do you think that the setting is? Where is the boy? That is, he's in the kitchen or the living room? No, right? Where is he? Yes, he's in his bed. And maybe he's in his room, right? His bedroom, because there is his bed and his toys. And what do you think that his mood is? That he look sad or angry maybe, right? Yes, he looked like angry because his face is like, So, we are going to read and we will be what is talking about this book and what happened with the terrible, horrible, the good, very bad day of Alexander. Let's read. This is the first page. What do you see in that page? This page? Yes, it's his room, right? It's his bed, his clothes, his teddy bear, and his toys. And look, you can see his bathroom. Yes. But how he look? He look like he's mad, right? Yes, he not look happy. He look like he's angry. Let's read. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth and now there is gum in my hair. And when I got out of my bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard and by mistake I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. Yes, he started the day in very bad happen. With very things happen to him. That way he thinks that all day will be terrible, horrible, and bad day. What do you think that they are doing here? Who is these other boys? There is a girl and a boy. There are maybe their siblings, right? Their brother and sister. And how is Alexander? He is still mad, right? What is they doing right now? They maybe are eating breakfast, right? Because they're waking up. Okay. At breakfast, Anthony found a covered string red car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover angel coat ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. So their siblings, find new toys in his their cereal boxes. But then, what happened with Alexander? He didn't found anything, right? Yes. Oh, I think I will think the move to Australia. He wants. Do you know what is Australia is? It's really far from here. It's another continent. It's another country. country that is far from here, and he wants to move to them, to Australia. Oh, let's see. Maybe the mom is driving. Maybe they are going to the school, right? They cool. Let's read. In the car, Paul Mr. Jimson lets Becky have a seat by the window. Andrew and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scratched. I said I was being smushed. I said I do not get a seat by the window. I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. He's mad. Do you see his face? Is he right here? The other classmates have a seat. The other kids have a seat by a window, but he's in the middle of the car and he didn't like it. So, I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, not good, very bad day for that situation. That you believe that it's bad to be on the middle of the car, or is something that you do not care? I don't care. I can be in the middle of the car. For me, it's comfortable. At school, Mr. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. Did you see? His teacher didn't like the invisible castle, but why did you think the teacher didn't like it? It's not because it is invisible. So she can see the homework maybe. So, did you think that he was responsible for do his homework, for do his draw? Yes, right? He was responsible, and he is like telling, no, it's an invisible castle. That is not fair. Yes. Let's read. At singing time, she said, I sound too loud. At the continuing time, she said, I left out 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, not good, very bad day. Where are? Maybe they are playing, right? I could tell because Paul said I was not his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Mayo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. So what happened here? So he has been having a terrible day, and then his best friend said that he was the third best friend of him. So he was, how do you think that he was feeling? Maybe he was feeling sad, right? That is something that makes you feel sad. Let's read. I hope you sit on that rack. I say to Paul, I hope the next time you get to double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part fall off the cone part and lands in Australia. What he was doing? He was mad, right? And he was like feeling terrible things to happen to his friend. But maybe because he had like all day being sad and angry and he feels that everything is bad. Then there were two cupcakes in Phyllis Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that has a little coconut sparkles on the top. Guess whose mother forget to put in dessert? What happened in this? This is the lunch, right? And everybody of his friend got a dessert, but his mom didn't put a dessert for his lunch, so was sad also again. It was terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. He sang, right? You can see the whole picture. His friend was eating like dessert here, and he's sad because he has any dessert and he will like it. But what do you think that his friend could do for to feel better to Alexander? Maybe they can share this dessert, but their friend didn't do it. So let's keep reading. This is a picture. Where do you think that Alexander went? Maybe to the doctor's office? Here is Alexander. He's like mad. His face is like mad, right? Let's see where he went. That's what it was. Because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Phillips found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and we'll fix, said Dr. Phillips. Next week, I said, I'm going to be in Australia. What happened to him? That his mom took them to the dentist. Who of you like to go to the dentist? No, anybody like you, right? To go to the dentist? Why? Can be scary and uncomfortable. Yes, and he's like angry because his brother didn't found any cavity, and he only have cavity in his teeth, so he's angry again. What do you think that happened to Alexander? It looked like his foot hurt, right? Yes. On the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to go get the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then when I started crying because the mud Nick said I was a crying baby. He was like crying, right? Yes, because his foot, right, hurts. And while I was pushing Nick for saying crying baby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me to being muddy and fighting. So, what happened here? Do you think that maybe the mom didn't see what really happened? Because Anthony was first fighting with him, right? Like telling the things that he didn't like. But the only thing that the mom see it was that Alexander was fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I told everybody, and no one even answered me. He was like telling, oh my God, today I'm having a terrible, horrible, terrible day. And his mom and his brother didn't listen to him. So he's like feeling really bad. Why do you think that they are? Maybe in a story, right? Because he is a juice box. What happened with Alexander? He's like sad, right? He's still sad, like all days having like problems and bad things. So let's read what happened to him. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose red one with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes. But then the two men said, we are all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but they cannot make me wear them. So what happened? Their brothers have what they want, what Sketcher wanted, what they liked, but what happened to him? He didn't have what they like, right? And he had to buy some shoes that he didn't like, and he didn't want to wear them. What happened here? Where do you think that they are? In an office, right? He's the mom and his brothers. Maybe he's his father, right? Let's read. When we pick up my dad at his office, he said I will not play with his copy machine, but I forget. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was carefully as could be except for the elbow. He also said do not fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please do not pick up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. What did Alexander do? He didn't do what his father said, right? He did what he wants, and what happened? Then, what they are doing? Maybe they are eating the dinner, right? That I sitting in the dining room. There were lemon beans for dinner, and I hate lemons. There was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. Look their face, like it's like funny, right? Like he didn't like anything. He didn't like the kisses. He didn't like lemons. He did hate it. And then what's happened? He's taking a shower, right? A shower. But how he look? He's like very like tired for that day, right? My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes, my marble went down to the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. So what happened? The bath also was terrible, right? He didn't like anything. He got soap on his eyes, and the water was really hot, so he didn't like it. How do you like the bath? It's something like, for me, it's something relaxed time, but he didn't have relaxed time, right? And then he's in his bed again, right? And what do you think that he's doing? He's like thinking, right? Like maybe reflecting what happened that day. Let's read. When I went to the bed, Nick took back the Philip he said. I could keep the mice mouse night light burning out, and I bite my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom says, some days are like that. So, what happened? So, like the time to go sleep, his cat didn't go to his room, went to his brother's room. So it was like something else bad that happened to him. But what his mom said, my mom said, some days are like that.